Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today, some parts showed up for the Diamond. I got stuff unboxed and did some organization, and now I'm going to do a couple little things. So one of the things that showed up is our driveshaft speed sensor for motion. So this will bolt to our pinion yoke, and then they have this nice little bracket that'll bolt to the third member case, and then obviously the sensor here. These, oops, one slipped over. I believe I need the 1K one to work with the Holley Dominator ECU for this resistor. I'm going to have to check the instructions on that for sure, but we're going to work on getting that installed, and then a couple little other things. Started laying out some of the wiring and doing a lot of reading on the least performance board, and getting that set up to start running our headlight harnesses, taillight harnesses, and things of that nature. So we're going to go ahead and get under the truck and then get this installed. Alright, so we got the aluminum tab on after we clean it up. Now we're getting the actual ring on with the teeth. So when you're doing this, you want to go and line these teeth up with perfectly the center of this hole, so when your sensor comes through, it reads straight. Now, I eyeballed it, and I'll measure it once I get the sensor in and make sure if I have to make any adjustments, I can still do so. So we'll go up and grab the sensor now. Alright, so got our sensor. Now it says on Motion's instructions that they want it between 45 and 60 thou of clearance. Well, I'll have to get a different feeler gauge because the one that I have down here only goes up to 35 thou. So I'll have to go run and get another feeler gauge, and then we can set this up. Now I'm just going to set it that it's plenty wide enough that it won't have to, I won't have to worry about it hitting if I roll the truck around until I get a new gauge. I'm just going to tie the wires up here so they're not dragging. Good. Alright, so we so heartedly got that all installed. All we have to do now is just get a feeler gauge to check the clearance on that. It's no big deal. It is super hot, so I'm sweaty, but we are getting this harness in for the engine installed tonight is the goal. I already got my grommet. It's kind of hard to see back there, but got the firewall pass-through grommet in on that side, and then I also put one in on the inside of the truck right there. Probably gonna run it around the ice chest on the driver's side and then loop in from the back over here because we already have our water lines running here, so it's kind of crammed. And then we'll mount onto the board. Once we get the Dominator, we'll mount it onto the board and then get it kind of tidied up a little bit better. But we're going to work on that now, and then later this week the new headlights should show up and marker lights. The headlights are like a newer style LED with a halo. I got new hardware for the headlight adjusters because mine was old and broken, so I got that and a couple other little items from a company off of eBay. I'm not even sure who they were, but they had lots of C10 stuff, so I ordered a whole bunch of stuff from them. But for tonight, we're just going to work on trying to get this engine harness in and getting all our sensors plugged in for that. And then once the headlights and other lights show up, we're going to work on getting the body harness for the truck all wired up while we wait for this ECU, which hopefully comes. I think the next date is like September something. I'm not holding my breath, but we're hoping. So we'll show you what it looks like once we got this new harness in, and go from there. Our engine harness ran. See, I got my coil wires here. I'm still debating if I'm going to shorten these or if I'm just going to tuck them nicely. This is the ground wire here, but we got all of our stuff hooked up for the most part. A bunch of stuff ran under the intake, passenger coils. It's a mess still inside here. I gotta tidy all that up. I'm kind of probably gonna go around the driver's side, side of the tunnel, and then loop in behind the ice chest to the Dominator, but I'm waiting for the ECU still. Just got pushed back again. September 29th is the new ship date. So in the meantime, I finally got headlights. So need to do some trimming to the factory buckets to accommodate the bulkiness of the LED halo style headlight. We got our new headlight adjusters in and stuff like that. So once we get the headlight buckets modified and get the headlight in them, we can get those in and then start running our body wiring for the headlights and the turn signals in the front end. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of a bunch of different stuff going on, but we're just trying to make progress where we can while we wait for parts. I'm going to start cutting apart the headlight bucket, and then we'll show you those once we got them in. Alright, so we got the passenger side headlight bucket clearanced. These spots right here, the round piece there was hitting, and the one edge over here you can see the paint's, well, the camera focus, you can see the paint was chipping where it was at. So we got it all notched out. Nothing too crazy, but we'll get this bolted in and then work on the driver's side. We'll show you momentarily what it looks like once they're both in. Alright, so we're back down in the garage today. Got late last night and ended up just kind of calling it quits and going home once I got them installed. But we got our headlights in, and I think they give the truck a lot more of a mean, modern look. I really like them. I am going to still use my factory marker lights down here for my turn signals, so I won't be using the halo turn signal, but I'll probably just wire the halo light up to the daytime running lights. I think that'll look pretty good. Inside the truck, went through more of the wiring and kind of got it tidied up. This is probably going to be how it runs because it's not long enough to go around the whole ice chest and come in to where I want it, but that's no big deal. We are able to run these wires back to the battery. These 3 wires will go back there. The greens for the fuel pump triggers, relays, and then red to battery hot and black to battery ground. I was able to use the factory hole for the fuel lines. Just threw a grommet in there, and then I'm going to run them wires back probably later today, and we'll finish that up. That'll be then in another video, along with back here wiring the kill switch. And I'm not sure what I'm doing about the battery box here. I don't really like the box itself. It's kind of a pain. I might just do a battery hold down style rather than the actual box, but we'll deal with that when that time comes. The other thing I did get done was, show you over here, I got the trim painted for the door panels. I painted the same color as the roll cage. I'm not a big fan of the chrome look that's on them factory, and mine were kind of pitted, so I was able to clean them up and get them painted. In the next video, you'll see me making the actual door panels. I started making one last night, and the classic phrase, measure twice, cut once. I didn't follow it. I measured once, cut it, so I kind of screwed myself, but that's no big deal. We're going to work on that next video. I already ordered a new piece of carbon to fix that mess up, so we'll get them taken care of. But it's kind of been a hodgepodge of everything, but we're making slow progress while we wait on some parts. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.